the channel for games, guides, and glitches. If you're a developer or publisher, feel free to contact me at the email, and to my regular viewers, please remember to subscribe, it really helps me out. Fall here with a guide for Garten of Banban 2. I'm not going to show this in the other ones, but you can go into the settings. All the options in every single one are the same. As you can see, there's not much options. The brightness setting really doesn't do anything, so I just leave it as it is. But at the start, we just have to hit A here to cycle through. Once we load up, we'll have to grab the keycard that's here, and also the broken drone remote that's here. Then we can head to this door. Through to the next one. And then to our left will be a keycard, we need to grab that. Then we want to hit and activate this switch here. While that's happening, we can pick up the collectible you saw there. Then we can hit the right arrow when it lets us. And we can head over this way. Over these tables will be another collectible. It's on the middle table, as you can see underneath there. So that gives us another collectible. Then we can head upstairs. Here we can hit a button that's across right here. This will unlock that door that we just passed, and we can hit this switch to now open that door. Now we want to go over here to this table, and there'll be a collectible just on this table here.
Hey, you there. I can see you on the cameras. I am so happy to see you.
Then we can go up to this camera, and there'll be a point where we need to hit A on it, so just wait for that point.
Listen, if you can hear what I'm saying, wave at any camera.
And now we just have to wait for this door to open.
God. I'm so glad
and
you're
when we
here.
do, on the table will be the antenna to replace the broken one on our
the
remote.
security room. Then the door closed behind me and I've been stuck inside since. It needs a light blue key card to open, but I don't have it. I know why you're here and I can help you, but you've got to get me out of here. If I recall correctly, only maintenance workers held the light blue key card. So you're gonna have to go down to the maintenance room and look there. The door there is probably locked as well, and I can't open it from here, but I do have control over the break room door. Here, I open it for you. See if you can find it from there.
So now we can grab the antenna piece, and then we can leave. And we want to go over to the left here. Before we do this puzzle, you want to walk over to the camera, because it's closest to the puzzle, it's the easiest. And we're going to keep hitting A on it to get all the information. This is for an achievement. Ignore the prompts that are popping up, they're just to tell you the controls.
Oh, the good old drones. I lost mine a couple of weeks ago. Maintenance workers used them for all sorts of things, like reaching high places and grabbing things that fell into the abyss, and sometimes even comfort. It's good that you have one. It might be useful in our little conundrum. Take a look around and see if you can figure out how to get into the maintenance room. I'm unsure if it can be of much help, but wave at the cameras if you need my insight.
And that's what we're going to be doing, waving at the camera, waiting for the conversation over and repeating until our achievement pops.
My memory is a little fuzzy, but I do remember something about management allowing workers with good scores to punch in later than those with worse scores. The better your performance, the later you're allowed to punch in. This was to encourage workers with lower scores to come earlier and perform better. Naturally, this meant that the person with the lowest score would be punching in first. To make sure that this was always the case, a system was set up to only allow the workers to punch in the perfect order that assumes that nobody is going to be late. Yeah, this system wasn't very well liked. I'm trying to remember more. I think the colors of the offices weren't just for decoration. They were used to distinguish who got what scores more easily. Sorry, it's just hard to think with everything that went down.
So with that over with, we can solve the first puzzle. So you want to hit RT to
Keep
hit
looking
the
around.
button.
I think the answer is in the
your
colors of
drone.
the offices and the order in which you activate the card scanners.
And it didn't activate for me, so I'm just going to readjust the drone. You'll know when it hits the button because it'll make a noise and also be green. The noise is very light though, unfortunately. So the first switch we want to hit is to the left here. Then we want to go up to the top. Hit the switch here. Then we can turn around and hit this switch here. Then we can head down here and hit this switch. Down to the bottom here and hit this switch. Up to the top, hit this one. And then we can turn around and we got two last ones to hit. So you want to hit this one here. And then the last switch is right here. This will solve that puzzle. And make this door right here open, as well as get you an achievement. You want to collect the key card inside. Then we can hit this switch.
Now you can go down to the main.
And then we want to fall to the left slightly. If you land on the left staircase, fall to the right then. And you'll be in front of this door. Hit the switch and we can go through. Now we have to head to the left. And you can follow my directions. When we're heading back, the pink arrows, as you can see them there, they are the opposite direction. The blue arrows are the arrows you want to listen to. But we just have to head this way to get to the end of the area. At the moment, this puzzle isn't active, and it will be soon. And it can be a bit of a pain to try and do, because Nabnab is not fun. Before you go any further, collect this collectible. And get your drone ready, because we need him. And on this table is the tape. And then we can send our drone over here. So we're going to hit 3 buttons, as you can see up here. So you want to align your drone up by giving it orders. And then you can hit the first button. I like to skip the second button and go straight to the third button, because you can get it through the glass without breaking it. If you're careful enough, you might have to break the glass, but I was careful enough that I didn't need to and activated it. And then we just have to hit the last switch. So for this part with Nabnab, I like to collect the keycard and then make sure I'm running before I leave here. So you click in left stick and start running immediately. And then you can head to the left and then straight through like so. Using the left stick, hold that up while running, but use the right stick to do your turns. It's very tricky and you got to be very precise. This is probably the hardest part because you have to keep doing complete turns like so. Once you make it to the exit, you'll have beaten Nabnab. Can be a little tricky to get past that part. He can be very tough. Might take a couple of attempts for you, but eventually, once you get through that part, we can continue on. So for a bit of fun, I'm going to bring the drone over here. You don't actually have to do this part, it's just for a bit of cutscene humor. So you want to open this door. And now that I've got train inside, collect this piece of paper. And as you can see, we've been knocked out by Banban.
3 birds with 1 stone.
And that's why I put
get all
the
your key cards,
drawing there. I
get
just
the
thought it was
perfect
funny to have it in the
specimen,
cutscene.
And I don't have to deal with that thing down there. And it's all thanks to you. Oh, come on. I didn't hit you that hard. Or maybe I did. Either way, it's best you take a nap while I prepare for our little surgery.
So we're going to skip some of this puzzle. You can hit the switch behind me to get some more light if you need it. But basically we're just going to get the drawing to go to the top of the glass like so. And then you're going to aim at the bottom. If you get a red marker like so, it's because you can't actually have it go directly to the glass. But if you hit the bottom like so, he'll smash the glass and you can go through. There is a key card. But before we do that, aim on the roof and bring him in. There's a key card on the ground here we want to pick up, and then we can hit this switch, which will defeat the puzzle. And then if we go up this way, you'll see the switch here light up. Hit that, that'll bring down the elevator, and right here is a collectible. Basically that saved us having to go a roundabout way to get the drone to destroy the glass. And now we're just waiting for the elevator to descend. Hit the switch, and then we can wait for the elevator to take us up. You can stand on the ledge like I am, and we're going to be heading up here. I'll use the drawing thing to mark it. You should be able to see the gap now. By standing on this, we'll get off a little bit quicker than if we were to wait for the elevator doors to open. Saves you that little bit of time if you're wanting to save yourself some time, as you can see. So right here we want to activate the drawing to bring it up. That'll save us a little bit of time. Open this switch and this one here as well. And then we can head to this room here by opening the switch. So we're going to collect a syringe and take the DNA from some monsters. So that's the first one there. Then on the left here, there is one here. And then you want to aim carefully at this switch, and we can open it from here. That'll save us a bit of time later, so that way all the doors are open for us. There's a monster here. Then in here there'll be a monster, and to the left is a collectible. Right here, just on this bench. Then to the left again is another one on the bed, so we've got some more DNA. One on this table, and then just to the left here is another piece of intel. So we want to go over here, and this is why we have the drone all ready to go. Once he stops shaking, tell the drone to go directly into the eye, recover his eye, and we can take a sample, and then we can head back to the original room we were in. So we want to hit A on that. Put all the samples inside the container. This will open the door on the left and give us a firework. So with the firework, we can then put it into the cannon. Now we can jump over and collect the hat here for the first collectible hat. Then we can go to the left here. Inside this room, just here is another piece of paper. So you want to grab that and then hit this switch to open the door and get ourselves another key card. So you want to hit this switch here. Then we can go through, hit this switch here. You can run and jump to the left and try and make it, but if you don't make it, you'll die and have to respawn. And it's just, in my opinion, it's just not worth it. We'll have to hit the switch again, so that way it comes over, because it stops at the second spot there. Once it comes over, we can go across, and then we can hit the switch to the left. And then we can go through here. So we've got another puzzle to solve. So you want to call the drone as soon as we get in. And then right here is a piece of paper we want to collect. Then we want to send the drone to the right here. And then once it lets us, we want to send it into the button here. And then right behind us is another button. So we want to do the same thing. Then we can reset the drone again and send it over to the other side when it lets us. And again, we want to head to the left and use that button. And then we want to hit the fourth button. Then we can go behind the desk again and hit the switch. And this will open up the door just above the stairs here. Now I have a nice glitch for this part which will save you a little bit of trouble and also help you with doing something kind of cool. So when we want to go to the end here, and once we get to the end we want to summon our drone, we're going to hit 3 buttons, and rather than go in the open door, we're going to skip a whole cutscene and go in another door that opens that we're supposed to go in anyway. And this just saves us a little bit of trouble. So you want to hit the button there. And then we can hit the next one. And this third one. Now what you're supposed to do for a cutscene is go into that door that's about to open. And then basically we're going to run down here. But thankfully the door is open, so we don't have to do any of that. And by doing this, we can just go into this area. Now when we go into this area, it's going to be dark, so I recommend ignoring the teacher's commands and not sitting down so she does attack us and make us respawn. This will turn the lights on, but I've practiced this where I'm going to do it in the dark.
I'll let it slide this time since it's your first day, but be late again and I'll rip you to pieces. You're a new and unpopular student, so you will have to sit with the unpopular table in the middle. Now sit, so we can begin.
And this is where you push A to sit. Okay, so the first answer will be
over the course of the semester,
the really smart kid, and it's to the right. Hopefully you've got the lights on, so it'll be much easier for you.
I made a mistake. I think that's lesson 4 of the day. For math. Over the course of the semester, you will learn to add, subtract, divide, multiply, and so much more. I am so excited! Before we start, let's revise some of the basics. What is 6874123612 plus 9819399912? And remember, wrong answers will be very harshly punished. 7856063.
So now I want the smart kid, which is to the left.
You kids are really paying attention today. Next question, and one that I wrote myself. What is 2 plus 2?
Just gotta find it. I know it's here somewhere. There it is.
Correct!
So now we need the dramatic kid,
I thought everyone would get it wrong.
which is across from us. It's not the one in front of us, it's the one across from us.
What is misery?
If you've got the lights on, you'll be able to see it say dramatic kid. So here it is.
Correct! Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for math for the day.
With that, we will be able to go to the playground for our lunch break, which is just across. Once we head this way, you'll see the light turn on to make it much easier. So we have to collect the gum. So there's a piece here, piece on this door, piece here, under the slide, on this message, and then we can place it here to collect the money from the cool kids, and then we can give the money to the bullies. This allows us to grab the watering can and place him here, which opens the door, and we can grab the glasses to make ourselves cool, and then we can return to class.
Attention everyone, this announcement concludes your lunch break. Please return to your classes. Also, teachers, please keep in mind that we're on the lookout for a very, very naughty student, believed to be accompanied by a drone. If you catch them, call Principal Banban's office immediately.
So you'll notice the door is still open, and because we made it through, the lights come on, so now we don't have to do the rest in the dark. So we want to go onto the cool kids table, and when she lets us, we want to sit down. So first one we want is the popular kid, which is on the left.
Like we did for math, and since this is the first science lesson of the semester, it will only be a review lesson. But first, let me introduce you to our classroom rules. No eating, no talking, no breathing, no moving, no asking questions, and no washroom breaks. Remember, I will have to punish you very, very harshly if you break any of those rules. Back to the review. Let's start with something easy. How hot is the sun? Nothing's as hot as me.
So now we go with the sea life lava, which is in front of us.
I'll allow it, but only because it made me laugh and because you're a cool kid. I can tell by your very cool glasses. Next question. How many hearts does an octopus have? Fingerflint.
And then we want to go with the loud kid, which is across from us.
That's half right, since Stingerflint is close to an octopus. He's a jellyfish. But I'll allow it, since you're a cool kid. Normal octopuses have 3 hearts. We humans have 1. And Stingerflint has... I'm not sure actually, but let's move on. Next question. We have 5 senses. Sight, smell, taste, touch, and... Correct! Oh.
So now we can go back to the playground again.
Close enough. I'll allow it. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for science for today. Go on to your second break, and then we'll start the next lesson when it's over.
So this time we'll be collecting money. So the first lot is in between the cans here. The second is next to this pin. Near the open door is the third. Again, in between some cans for the fourth. Up here near the basketballs is the fifth. And then we can hand that in. And this will allow us to open this door and collect the pin. So now we'll be able to join the bully table. Again, the door is still open.
Attention everyone, this announcement concludes your second break. Please return to your classes.
Oh wow! 3
So we
new
want to
kids in
go
one
over
day?
to the left table.
1 unpopular kid? Yuck. 1 cool kid and 1 mean kid. Welcome! Sit on the table to your left where you belong so we can begin.
So the first question, we're going to take the unkind money taker, which is the one across from us.
Just like we did for math and science, it will only be a review lesson. Let's start with some common knowledge to freshen your stupid brains. Can anyone here give me an example of an unkind person? I will beat you to death. Correct!
And then we want to give pain giver, which is the one in front of us.
Example. Good job! Assuming it wasn't directed at me, of course. Now, this time, Can anyone give me an example of a kind person? I will give you immense pain. Correct! Exactly! Giving others things without expecting anything in return is exactly what kindness is. This class is going to be great! I can feel it! Wait, what was that? I wonder if it's a new student. Nobody move while I check it out.
So now we can use the drone to hit the button. Then we can open the door with the switch. And then we can close the door with this button here.
No, not again! I actually tried to be a good teacher this time.
Then we can open the button here. We'll get our achievement for being a bad student. As you can see, there's the Opalia birds. We have to collect all the birds. The best tactic I found is to run at them and hammer A while aiming slightly downwards. This way, if they run into you, you'll collect them. You then have to bring them up here and deliver them. There is a way to release the Opalia mother, and then we could go around her, but the problem is that there's an achievement tied to this, so we have to collect all the birds. It will get harder as there's less birds, but as long as you stick to the tactic. Sometimes moving backwards also helps. As you can see, I was moving backwards in the dark and I was able to grab one of them. As long as the grab prompt shows up and you're hitting the grab button, you'll be able to grab them. So we have 2 more left to get, and then we will get an achievement for it. And with that, we've got the last bird. As you can see, that gets you the full nest achievement. If we did the skip, we wouldn't get that achievement, but we're not done here. We want to head up this way, and you'll see a collectible right here. So you want to grab it from the event. And then we want to open the door. Once we grab the key card at the foot of it. As you can see, the Opalia bird comes in and then heads to her chicks. When we get through here, we'll have Seline, So I have a little trick because there's an achievement for having slow Seline get to the end of the level, and because we've got that open door still, we can take advantage of it to get past her, but still let her get to that thing, and let us get to the door that we need to get in. If she gets too close, she'll attack like so, and then you'll have to reload. I unfortunately couldn't move because as soon as I came out, I had stopped. And if she's not looking away from the spot she's moving, then she's gonna get you.
Hello?
So as soon as she does this, we can move backwards and to the left. We want to stop once we get into the open doorway.
Where are you hiding?
Oh god, she can see me. Not really. So this part will rely on us waiting for her speech to come up, because she's now ahead of us, which shouldn't be possible, but thanks to this little trick, it is. And now we can come out and we can go to the left. And if we're quick enough, we can get close to the door. Not too close because you don't want Seline to attack you, but close enough that we'll be able to hit the door and leave once we get the achievement. So right now we can go up, we can collect the door. As you can see, we got listened to every slow Seline thing she had to say, and we also got into the room without her being killed. That also gets you the snail for surviving her attack. So now we gotta run and jump across onto this umbrella to get this hat collectible that we need. And then we can also collect some seashells. There's one here. There's one by these two chairs. Then there's another one over here. And if we go up the top here, there's one here. And just to the left down here. In this corner's one. From here we can grab this one here that's on the near the green boat that you probably saw. And then under the stairs we went up is another one. And just across here is the last one, so we can put all those into the treasure chest. Now I will warn you, for this part of the puzzle we do need to grab one of the fireworks before it ends. If you do not do that, you will actually lock yourself out of attempting to do a secret that you need to do for an achievement. So make sure you collect the firework. It will be a little tricky though. So now we got a key card, we can start it up. We want to grab a firework first from the firework location, and like I said, you want one at the end of this as well, so that's what you do. And what you got to do with the firework is put it into the cannon that matches the button, and then once it fires, you'll be able to grab another one. There's 2 cannons below us, and then there's 4 here, and sometimes you can predict what button it's going to be. It is random, so your combination will be different to my combination. Sometimes a better view like this can help, depending on what you want. And if you can't see them, then they'll be down below, as you can see. And you need to race to the top. It's going to be very tricky because you need to get that last firework, and you don't have much time. And with that, we were able to collect the firework before it ended, so we're safe to get the collectible. We can also get the piece of paper and the keycard, so we can move on and hit the switch. Make sure you get that firework though, that's why I warned you. It's very important. With the firework, we can actually now head back before we proceed. I'm going to go back to the area with Jumbo Josh. We also get another achievement, so congratulations. We want to move the platform to the left, so hit the left arrow. And then we can go over here and place the firework in the cannon here. This will hit a button in distance and allow us to enter this room further. So now we can collect the keycard here. This keycard allows us entry into a room at the start that we were not able to get into. So now we have to go across the bridge and we have to hit it right twice. And then we can go up here and we can insert the keycard into this room that we couldn't earlier. And inside is the secret. This will get us an achievement, Cannoneer, for entering the elimination process room. And we also get 3 letters. So now we only have to go left once. And we can head to the final room. So we're going to grab the piece of paper on the table, and then we got to make our way via jumping very carefully, because if you fall down you will have to restart. You can hit the poles too. They didn't make them hollow, unfortunately. They made them solid, so they can knock you off too. So you need to be very careful and precise with your jumps. Make sure you're running for the long jumps. Now in the corner here is a cassette tape. And we just have to very carefully make these jumps. So for this one, you want to hang to the left. If you hang too far right, you'll actually hit the rods, which can knock you down. It happened to me before in one of my test runs, so just be aware of that. And then here we want to carefully just jump up because we're near the finish line. And then we have to do one last big running jump. Try and get as close to the edge as possible before you jump, and you should make it. And then we can collect the last piece of paper, which is the last collectible, which will get you Reader. Congratulations. And then we can head down this corridor. And as you can see, the cake is not a lie. And if you look around, you'll see all the different doors and stuff for the different characters. Sheriff, Slow Seline.
You know, on a normal day, you'd be standing where I am, behind the safety of this glass. Like you're in a zoo watching some animals. Speaking of zoos, it's almost assembly time, where all the doors open, so we must keep this brief. Look, I'm sorry I hit you, but you gotta understand. I needed something from you that I could only get if you were unconscious. And I was all out of sedatives. If you'd seen me, you wouldn't have trusted me, I know it. But there was one thing I didn't lie to you about, and that's me knowing why you're here. You're here for your children. I too am working towards saving them, if you can believe it. But someone else has them. Someone far stronger than you and me both, that resides deep in the abyss. Oh no, you've gotta go. There's an elevator in Opalia Bird's walkway. Take it and we'll talk again down there.
So this part's going to begin a chase scene once the door opens. Make sure you're in front of the Opalia bird.
You've been a bad student.
And we can begin running down the hallway. We want to turn to the left, the first left what we get. And Jumbo Jack is going to stop us right here, but behind us Banbaleena is also stopped by Jumbo Jack, so we don't lose or have to worry about her catching up. I want to continue following the hallway and head to the left again, and then head right, and then we gotta head left, and then right here we have to head right. There's a switch you need to hit, so hit the switch, go around the thing here and stand in front of the X. So Banbaleena goes on the X. She needs to go onto the middle of the X. I found it didn't seem to work if she was on like the left or right of it, but once you do that, you want to head back the way you came, and we can go down this corridor and you'll see Nabnab. Then we can collect the key card. Can go to the keycard pad here and use it, and then we can go to the elevator here and use the elevator. And with that we have now finished the game, so congratulations. Once it ends, we're going to get our last hat. As you can see, a cool hat has been unlocked, getting us our last achievement, Fashionable Companion, for collecting all the drone hats. So congratulations on your last achievement, and congratulations on your 1000 G. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe.